from the city to the streets. Jayvi from the beats, got the beat. Feel the rhythm, feel the heat. Everybody come and follow me. Let's get down while the free.
What's up, you guys? It's your boy Jayvi, back at it again with another episode. Today we're going to talk about music inspiration and what inspires artists to create music and how they go about it. In today's episode, we have our featured guest, Yelena's Music Latin Artist of the Year. So, I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi, so my name is Yelena, aka I am a Latin artist based from Massachusetts, from Boston specifically. And I'm very grateful to be here with you today.
Thank you for coming.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you. One of our main goals that we're trying to do is put you on to the city's hottest artists. So, you saw Yelena here first. Remember that. So today we have an icebreaker. This icebreaker is sing-along, rhyme-along. I didn't put a name on the game yet. Okay. But basically, I have a beat, 30-second beat.
Yeah.
I'm going to play it for you. You got to freestyle over it.
Okay. We'll see how it goes.
Do a poem.
Okay.
Whatever. However, you're artistic.
Okay.
Self takes you.
All right. Sounds good.
Can we cue the music? Thank you. Ready? We're going to do the first 45 seconds.
Okay.
We'll play it once and, let you process it and then give you the freestyle. Okay. So that was the 45 seconds. Let's give you 5 seconds and we're going to replay it again and have you do your freestyle.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to count it down with my hands. Go.
Pasaré tiempo en Miami durante el fin de semana. Pasaré tiempo en Miami con el amor de mi vida. Oh, oh. Fumando un cigarro de Cuba, tomando tequila, pasando por la playa. Pasando por la playa, fumando un cigarro de Cuba,
God, that's it. That was fire. I'm gonna have to put you on the remix to that song.
Okay.
Caribbean type of beat, so
That's what I figured.
Yeah, it's definitely a summer vibe for
sure.
Summer.
Yes. I know, because summer 2023 is pretty much gone.
So here I have some questions for you.
Okay.
We're gonna go over development of, your music to like what inspired you to become La Rosa, So, let's start off with what inspired you, like who inspired your musical journey and like.
I would say who really inspired my musical journey was, of course, Selena. My dad was the one that introduced me to her when I was very young. I was probably about like 6 or 7. He bought me the movie one day coming, and I had no clue who she was because she, passed or was murdered, unfortunately, but I was not born. So I had no clue who she was until I watched the movie, and I didn't, and I was so fascinated by her story, by the person that she was, also how talented she was, and and artistic in general, because not only did she have a great voice, but she was like so amazing in fashion and the way that she designed her clothes for her whole entire band and even for herself, and her personality was very like, unique, so I was very fascinated by everything that she did, and I guess that's when I was like becoming fascinated with music. And then from there I started to listen to music by like Jennifer Lopez, who played her.
That was a great movie.
Yeah, it was a very amazing movie. I started listening a lot to Kelly Clarkson, to Shakira at the time, to Paulina Rubio, Thalia, like so many female artists, Beyonce as well too at the time. And then from there, I just kind of like started, I guess like singing a lot, but I was very timid at the time when I was young. I had like very, very, very bad stage fright. And I overcame it when I was like 15. So like from being little to up to 15, after 15, I would say, I guess that's when I was like, yeah, we want to do this like for real.
Yeah.
But at that time, didn't really have a lot of resources. My parents didn't really know much about the music industry or who to go to or where to start, you know? So I feel like as I got older, and especially when I went to college, that's when I started really making like connections, really like learning more about studios I could go to, producers, engineers, and stuff like that. And so when I graduated college is when I decided to really start my propel my music career. So yeah.
And so what do you feel like broke that barrier between you like just being an observer of music, so you wanted to like perform music?
Well, I feel like I always wanted to perform. I think at the age of 15, because before that I really had bad stage fright, so I was very scared, you know. And as a kid, like I always loved music and I always loved to sing and dance, but I was very scared to do it in front of people, right? So after the age of 15, when I actually did get a chance to perform in front of people for the first time, that was when I really was like, okay, wow, like this is what we're meant to do, because we love doing this, we love performing. But then at the time, there wasn't really much resources. Like my parents didn't really know who to go to where I could like perform or do talent shows and stuff. Like I did them somewhat at the time when I was young, but still like it was very like, it was not so often, you know? So I think college is where it really helped me like kind of envision what I wanted to do and like how I wanted to do it and how I wanted to start my music career, you know? So yeah.
And so when you started perceiving yourself in that light, like what was the first step for you to create music, create a piece of art / perform a whole piece, a whole set?
I mean, the first step I would say would be like writing, you know, like sitting down, writing the song. And then from there, like going to the studio, recording the song, envisioning, you know, how I wanted to go about with the song and how I would want to perform it, you know, because a performance, in my opinion, is like a movie. You know, whenever we go to these concerts of these artists, a lot of they have certain visuals when they're performing a song. They have certain dancers, like, you know, it's like a whole movie, the way that they do the performance of a specific song. And so that's how I kind of think of it when I'm gonna release a song or when I'm gonna perform a specific song, right? So yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
No, yeah. And so what do you hope that your audience gets when you're performing and you're setting up this experience for them? Like what do you want them to walk away with?
I want them to really feel like powerful every time they see me perform. Like I really want them to feel I don't know if ignited is the right word, but I want them to feel this certain like power within themselves every time they see me perform, because that's what I hope to showcase as I'm performing, and as well as I want them to I want to draw them in, you know? So yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the I should have brought that clip. Lana Del Rey, her latest concert, where there was like a random manifestation of energy and her fans thought.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it just happened on one of her her concerts. Really showed her power.
Yeah, for sure.
If you could play in any venue in the world, what would that venue be and why?
The Astrodome in Houston. Yeah. That's like one of the venues I would like to play or perform at. Yeah.
Top tier. Why that one particularly though?
Cause it's Yelena. That's one of like the biggest ones that I've always envisioned since I was a kid. Format next to Astrodome would be like Madison Square Garden, or any other venues outside of the country, I would say. But yeah.
Any venues back in like Latin America or outside of here?
Oh my God, I'll be honest, I can't even think of them on top of my head, but Latin America specifically, oh, I don't even know. There is one specifically in DR, like in Santo Domingo where my mom is from, but I can't think of the name right now. And it's like a big, like, it's like kind of similar to like the TD Garden.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, PR, they have one. It's called T-Mobile Stadium.
Oh, okay.
Anytime Bad Bunny goes to Puerto Rico.
That's where he's going. That makes sense.
So, you know, it always be packed. How do you go about collaborating? And do you have any collab?
So right now, the biggest thing that I'm working on right now is rebranding. I'm doing a lot of rebranding right now, which that means I'm experimenting a lot with my sound. I initially was going to drop a whole EP by around this time, but things kind of change. I've been going through a lot of changes in my life, reflecting a lot as a person and continuously growing. So right now I'm in a place where, and I'm gonna release music soon, but a lot of it is gonna be music that is the music that I really want to put out, and music that really is connected to the person I'm becoming right now. And so when it comes to collaborations, I don't think I'm gonna really collab with people probably until come next year. But if it happens this year, great. There were some people that I did want to collab with this year, but because of the changes that have been happening in my life and music wise, it just makes more sense to probably put my focus on that come next year. So yeah.
And you know, talking about transformation, you're just talking about how do you feel like your music changes as you like become more aware of yourself?
I feel like it really just starts to become the music that I've always really wanted to release, you know, but also music that I'm experimenting with. So it's like, because there's songs by like different artists that I listen to that I'm always like, oh, I want to do something like that, especially when it's an upbeat song.
Yeah.
And, you know, I have a very like soulful voice. So there was a time where I kind of felt like, oh no, I can't do anything upbeat. Like, I don't know if my voice will get to that, but I'm in a place right now, I'm really testing myself and really experimenting and really realizing like, oh no, we actually are capable of doing any sort of music, whether it's upbeat, whether it's not upbeat, whether it's like very slow music. So with the changes that I've been dealing with personally, I feel like within the music, it's really going to showcase that like experimentation, but also that versatility as well too. So yeah.
If you can put a name to this chapter of your musical career, what is the name you're putting it?
I would say the butterfly effect. Yeah.
That's deep. Tell me more.
Well, I just really think that when I think about the person that I was last year, the person that I am now, I feel like we've been blossoming a lot and flourishing a lot, which is why now I'm going to continue to use Yelena as my stage name, but I'm also going to now start using more so La Rosa, which means the rose. And the rose is part of my brand, and that reason is because I really feel like right now I'm in a place where I'm really blossoming into this beautiful red rose. And it's taking its time, which is okay. But because of a lot of the healing that I've been doing since the beginning of this year, and also building my relationship with like God and building my relationship within myself, right? Learning how to love myself more, right? That's the biggest reason why I say the butterfly effect, because I'm really not only blossoming into this beautiful flower, but I'm also transforming into this beautiful, like, big butterfly. And I know that a lot of people are going to feel that, which is why I say the butterfly effect. Because what my hope is that the more and more that I blossom, the more and more that I become into this beautiful big rose or big butterfly, the energy gets transferred to other people as well.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. La Rosa. And tell me, how do you just started talking about spirituality. How do you feel that like your music connects your physical form with your self-expression and your spirit?
Well, the music that I'm currently working on right now, my hope is that I can be able to express how I feel spiritually in my music. So talk more about my relationship with God, talk more about like spiritual stuff, like talk about like the importance of protecting your energy, the importance of knowing the power that you have within yourself, as a woman, or however you identify yourself, the importance of tapping into your divine feminine energy and, you know, showcasing that, talking about that in the music, but also showcasing that brand wise, you know.
Right.
So showcasing myself in a certain way when it comes to how I dress, when it comes to my performances, how I post or whatever I post about my social media, right? So that's what I really am currently working on right now. So yeah.
Yeah. A lot of artists, like, you know, use music to connect to their higher self or spirituality. You can see a lot of like the forms of expressions that it has and the ways which, you know, someone could connect to God on a rock song or a different song. But I find it interesting always when like you can feel the energy, even though, you know, you might not know, like, is this a prayer that someone's having?
Always.
But sometimes you hear a song and you're like, you know, this is very emotional on like a spiritual level.
Right.
What would you say are some of the things that challenge you here as an artist, like in the city, but also like where you currently are, like in terms of like your journey? Like, what are some of the challenges at this current stage?
I think the biggest challenge is just like trying to stay on top of everything. We talked about it a little bit outside of the interview, but yeah, just trying to stay on top of everything, especially when you don't have a really big team behind you, because there's so much going on every single day, every single weekend. And sometimes, you know, even I kind of like have this, I guess, experience FOMO, where like, I'm like, oh gosh, this weekend there's this event going on, there's that event going on. I don't think I can attend it. Oh my God. But I know I feel like I have to, because I have to make sure I'm being seen. There's still people that don't know about me, even though I won the Latin Artist of the Year award, you know, nominated by Boston Music Awards, you know, which I'm grateful for. I still feel like a lot of people don't even know who I am, where my music is, or that I even exist. And so I have to like make sure that effort. But then sometimes I'm the type of person, I tend to overwork myself a lot. I tend to like stay up late trying to do certain things when I know I shouldn't.
Yeah, I know you got back to me at 3 a.m. with paperwork for this email. I'm like, oh, I was asleep. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a bad habit of really overworking myself. And so sometimes when there's so much going on city-wise, the weekends, I really try to utilize it now to really like decompress and to really relax. But I'm starting to realize right now that I struggle with that a lot, you know, and a lot of people don't know that because I don't talk about it. But right now I'm talking about it because that's something I've been reflecting on a lot with everything that I've been dealing with, particularly this month, you know, is that realization of like, you know, you can go after your dreams and make sure that you're staying on top of things within your own city or even outside. But if you're overworking yourself, there's going to come a point where you're going to shut down and you're not going to be able to do what you have to do.
Right.
And I realized that numerous times this month, you know, so I'm trying to find that balance when it comes to like making sure that I'm making appearances in certain events, certain places, connecting with certain people within the city, but also making sure that I'm pouring into myself more, because that time where I'm going out and staying out late, I can utilize that time to stay home and work on my music or try to create a plan come next month or just not do anything at all.
Right.
And that's something I really struggle with. And even the people that know me, you know, who are helping me, you know, I have a friend right now who she's helping me with public relations and A&R as well too. And I have other people helping with other stuff too. And they are like the people that are constantly telling me like, oh my God, like you need to figure out how to relax. You need to like not do anything for a week. And, you know, and that's something that I'm currently working on right now. So, but I don't know, I'm trying to give myself grace when it comes to like staying on top of what's going on in the city and, you know, making sure that I'm making appearances. I'm really trying to like not apply so much pressure to myself, but sometimes it's easier said than done, you know?
Yeah. No, I definitely feel that, you know, and as a city that's not like so focused on the arts, you know, most people's daily life doesn't revolve around creation, mostly just around like working. So it's like trying to find little crevices where you can work on your passions and work on self-development, spirituality, and it's just too much for anyone to handle. But
Exactly.
what do you think is the best tip that you can give to an upcoming artist who, you know, is trying to find their voice, trying to find the resources, like you mentioned, and like probably going through growth as well?
I would say the biggest thing is you really gotta give yourself like grace. You really have to be patient because going after a music career, it's not the easiest. And it's one of those things like, yeah, you gotta make sure you're doing the work, right? Because your dream's not gonna come to you. It's not gonna be knocking at your door and be like, hey,
Right.
we finally need it. But you do have to try your best to find a balance. You know, you work hard, but also work smarter, you know?
Not harder.
And and that's something that I'm trying to work on right now is, you know, trying to make sure I'm staying on top of things, but also making sure that I'm being smart about how I'm working and how I'm giving myself time and space and trying not to overwork myself. So that's like the biggest thing. Because if you're an upcoming artist who's very determined to become a famous artist or become a well-known artist or however you want to put it, right? Like I know my goal is to become an international sensation. Like my goal is to be known across the whole entire world and to leave a legacy, right? And that's a big dream, and that's a dream where, like, you know, you have to make sure that you're pressing the gas every single day, but sometimes you don't, because there's going to come moments where you need to stop, you need to reflect. And so as an upcoming artist, just really give yourself grace, really give yourself time. And there are going to be moments where it's going to be very frustrating, going to be very stressful, but you know, those moments where you feel stressed out, you feel frustrated, and you feel like you don't have the right people around you, just keep going, because sooner rather than later, the right people who are supposed to help you, who actually care about you, who want to see you prosper and succeed, are going to come. So
Yeah, that's so real. I feel like, you know, definitely one of the biggest things that I notice is like that every artist says is just always like work on your craft, you know, and that will help you build the reality around you.
Yeah.
And help you jump through all the obstacles of like changing your current reality to the reality that you. So it's like
Exactly.
comes with a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And so what are like some of the things you do to relieve some of those pressures and let go of the gas, like you were saying, just chill, you know?
I really try my best to make sure I'm finding time to spend time with my family or my friends, have wine nights, or really try to push myself to have days where I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
And also meditate as much as I can. Make time to meditate, make time to just go outside, go to a park, you know, be around, nature, and also take and use that time to myself to reflect and just kind of like not think at all and ground myself is the biggest thing. Yeah. Especially if you're someone that suffers from anxiety like I do. I tend to overwhelm myself a lot. And so right now I'm in a place where I'm trying to work on doing things to where I can feel grounded, because the more grounded I am, the more clarity that I will have, you know. And if I don't have clarity, I don't know which direction to take, what to do, how to do something, you know, like, so if you struggle with that, you just have to really try to, again, find that balance, but also find that time to ground yourself and also take care of yourself, you know, body wise, like really make the effort to try to go to bed early. I know as artists, we work like, you know, late at night. We're like, what do they call it? Like, we're night owls. But really try to like make sure that you're at least getting enough sleep each night, making sure that whatever you couldn't get done the night of, you can get it done the next day, you know? So yeah.
This is my last question. This one is the culture.
Okay.
How do you incorporate tu cultura, like your heritage, your spirituality? Like, how do you know like what components to pull from, especially when you come from like such a diverse background and like culture? That, you know, how do you like not niche but kind of like, you know, focused on that aspect that you want to put forward?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing what I aim to do is obviously like not only sing in Spanish, but also incorporate certain sounds from both of where my parents came from. Like I'm Cuban Dominican. So my goal music wise is to eventually like not like put out a bachata type of song, but try to create music where it has those elements. The same with Cuban music, like try to take out certain elements from popular well-known Cuban songs or instrumentals, beats, stuff like that. And then fashion wise, I want to incorporate my culture as well too, from the way I dress to the way I look, and the way I present myself, you know. So that's kind of how I've been implementing where I come from when it comes to my music, when it comes to my brand.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. No, yeah, I'm grateful to be here. So thank you.
I appreciate you for your time and taking the time to join me and join us back home. And so, any last words you'd like to say to your viewers, you know, where they can reach you, follow you, listen to you, where they can keep up with the Latin award artist from the Boston?
Oh, thank you. I am on everywhere, so make sure to follow me, Yelena Music.
Right there, tell that to them.
Yelena Music. That's my Instagram. That's also my Twitter, TikTok, as well too. I do have a TikTok page for motivation called Yelena Speaks. So on there, you can find any sort of motivational videos where I'm just speaking my truth, giving advice as much as I can. It's new, so I'm just working on the page right now. But yeah, and then you can also follow me, Yelena Music on YouTube. But my music is available on every platform. My link tree is included on my Instagram page. So on there, you can click it and you can see all my other social media pages and where you can find my music.
Thank you for Yelena for joining us today. Make sure to check out her music on every platform. And today's exit quote is by Vango. A great artist creates because it is in their nature to do so. Remember, enjoy yourself. Have a good one. Peace out.